Hello, Brick Sculptors. Welcome back to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris, and it is May 31st, which means it is the final day of spring and the final day of the Spring Challenge. That's right, Spring Challenge entries are due by midnight tonight, and that is midnight Central Standard Time. So get those in. Don't be late. I've gotten so many awesome entries already, and I can't wait to see what else you guys have coming. After I get all the entries, I will put everything into a video. If you guys want to make your own PowerPoint slide, I will use your slide. Otherwise, you're going to have to deal with what I make. And I do have to make a lot of them. I make them quickly, so I apologize if they're not the greatest, but I'll do my best to showcase everyone's build as best as I can in a short period of time. Anyway, it is the last day, so I thought, why not share with you what I built? I've been working hard on this. I've spent a lot of time on this one, and I really enjoyed this challenge, and I can't wait to show you what we've got here. Well, here it is. This is my Spring Challenge house under construction. And a lot of pieces went into this. I wanted to go for an elevation change, so I have kind of a walkout basement here. And when we turn it around, you can see we've got a lot of ground built up here to have kind of that main story right at ground level. Got a garage over here and that nice slope down. I put a window well in here and some empty window frames. We're going to eventually pop windows in there. Packed lots of great detail in here. The whole thing comes apart so you can see the inside. I've got a guy up in the trusses there working. And this kind of splits in half and comes out in two pieces. This ladder goes down to the first floor. I wanted to make it where part of the floor was filled in and part of it was still needing to be boarded over. Put a wall up here to add a little bit of detail and lots of openings toward the back here where this will eventually have windows if it were ever built, which it won't be because the techniques used to build this, you're never going to actually make this into a real house unless you completely rebuild the entire thing. Almost the entire thing is built in snot fashion. All of the walls, the floors, everything is pretty much snotted in order to get a thinner profile on all the studs. The garage over here has lots of details in it. I got this guy here sweeping up. A nice way to add detail to a bin or a crate, if you want to make it look like hardware, nuts, bolts, screws, whatever, just take a small chain and plop it in there. And, you know, it could look like a chain, of course, but it just kind of looks like a whole bucket of hardware. And I got 3 of those going on in there, so it just looks like I got a lot of stuff. In that back corner, I wanted it to look like a bunch of stuff covered in a tarp. And here, let me see if I can get you a better shot down from the top here. Got a little drainage or exhaust pipe sticking out of there. And then, of course, a whole bunch of trash. I wanted to look like cutoffs of conduit and a trash bag sitting next to it. This portion right here was particularly fun to do. I cut kind of a notch out of the bricks and went to a snot technique there to make steeper banks on this trench. This trench is supposed to indicate having kind of a water inlet and an electrical inlet here into the house. And I did put a board here to kind of cross this gap so that workers could get across it without falling in. And of course we have a spigot here for the water. I really liked that. I think it turned out pretty nice. Got a ramp up to the front door. Lots of lumber piled here by the front door. And then we've got our ladder. On the ladder, I've got some painting supplies, some tools scattered about. The cool thing about this is everything is actually attached to it. I've got boards sticking through the ladder here. I just put one of these round kind of things you put on the underside of a boat, and it holds these boards in here so they actually won't come out. Same thing with the drill. I could get that out, but once you twist it, it's not going to fall out easily, so it'll just kind of hang there. Around this side, we have the window well. I want the window well to be like kind of half underground here on this pretty steep slope down to the backyard. And the basement here is made in a gray masonry bricks to look more like cinder blocks. Up top, though, we have some medium nougat brick. You know, it's pretty common for houses, at least in America here, to have kind of a brick front or a brick facade. And then the rest of the house is made just with dimensional lumber, 2x4s, etc. So that's what I did there. And back here I have a pile of bricks. I would have put it in the front, but I didn't have a ton of space, so I thought it looked good back here. But just kind of leftover bricks from bricking in the front of the house. And I've got those scattered about. I did show this in my techniques video too. Over here I got some oxyacetylene tanks here for welding or cutting. And then I do have another pipe buried in the ground here, or unburied in the ground. That's going to be the sewer outlet. And I got some boards here to kind of keep the workers out of the mud. So I just scattered some tan boards about the floor there, about the ground there, to keep them so they can walk on the boards and not get their boots all dirty and bring it into the house. As we go down to the basement here, got a lot of stuff going on in the basement. We've got another worker there cutting some wood on this miter saw, some supplies, some garbage. I got the windows that are going to go in there. I did put an electrical panel back here and some outlets. One of the outlets is hooked to the miter saw. In the corner there, I put a few utilities, a furnace, and a water softener. Now, there's probably some contractors out there who are saying, well, they would have never put this in before that or done this part before that part. I agree, but I'm not a contractor. So I just kind of put things in as I wanted to make them look incomplete and show various stages of building with this project. And over here we got kind of this grassy hill. I've got mud up by the foundation like they just dug and poured and then backfilled it with dirt on both sides. Now the big question, will this go in my Lego city? And the answer is kind of unknown. I think it's more of a yes and no. In the state that this sits, it is pretty much guaranteed to be too big to fit into my Lego city without making some serious modifications to the city itself. So what I'm thinking about doing, I think I have a good spot for it, I'm going to cut it shorter. I might make the house a little smaller, but I'm going to cut this basically down to 3/4 of a base plate. And I think it will fit back then in there and look good. My other builds for the challenges are all in the city. I have my Rocky River Retreat in the city. I have my Octane gas station in the city. The bird nest is not going in the city. It doesn't really work. But I think I need to find a way to get it in there, but it needs to be modified. So it probably will go in the city, but it's not going to go in this state just because it's too big and it's going to take up too much space. Anyway, I had a ton of fun building this. I think it turned out awesome. Can't wait to hear what you guys think, and I can't wait to see the rest of your submissions and get those posted to show off all your awesome builds. I've already gotten so many cool ones, and the stuff is really fantastic you guys come up with, and I love doing this because seeing all the creative ideas from all the fans of this channel is just amazing, and that's really what it's all about, is community, sharing ideas, and showing off what we make. So get those submissions in by midnight tonight, and I'll get to work on making a video to show them off, and then we can do some voting. Well, I hope you guys like this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and do more just like this in the future. That's all I have for this time, and we will see you next time.